In today's how-to video, we're looking at how to change your hydraulic fluid in an 1165V. Now, before you get started, you're going to want to get some fresh tools and fresh supplies as well. Now, as far as hydraulic fluid goes, it's AW32, and this machine here is taking, if it was totally dry, 17 liters or right around 4.5 gallons of oil. For the sake of this video, we're going to drain the fluid out. We're just going to put it right back in because it's new fluid. And you're going to want an empty 5-gallon pail as well. So right here, I have my empty 5-gallon pail that I can use to drain the fluid out with. I also got a bunch of rags. You know, it's changing hydraulic fluid, so you're going to want to have some rags handy. You're going to have some drips and runs that you're going to want to clean up. I got a new oil filter. Now, the number for this oil filter is in your manual as well, or you can call Splitfire, but the number SF6520, if you went online or gave it to the desk at your hardware store, they would be able to cross-reference that to different versions of the same filter as well. Handy dandy set of gloves, keep your hands clean. Any reason to keep hydraulic oil off your hands is a good idea. And I like a big funnel. Now, we can pour the fluid in this thing nice and quick so we're not having to sit around too long. So a good big funnel with a nice big hole, a 3/4 inch hole is fantastic. We got a couple small chunks of 2x4 that we're going to use to tip the machine on a slight angle, a roll of Teflon tape, and a 9/16 Allen key. Now, this could be an Allen key. It could also be an Allen key socket that would go onto, let's say, a 1/2-inch drive ratchet of some sort, but any kind of 9/16 hex to get those plugs out of the machine. Now, I also have a short ladder here too, and I'm going to use this when I'm filling the fluid back in. It makes it a whole lot easier because, you know, I'm not quite as tall as an 1165, so it'll make my job a little more simple. All right, so once you got your gloves on, first thing you're going to want to do is tilt the machine on a slight angle. So these two 2x4s here are going to go underneath your tires. Simply what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the machine and just push it back ever so slightly. And then with my foot, I'm going to take the 2x4 and just carefully put it underneath the tire. We're probably tilting at maybe a 5-degree, a 6-degree angle, and that's going to allow us to get a little more of the fluid out of it and make it a little easier to work with. After we got the machine on a slight angle, we're going to go ahead, take our 9/16 Allen wrench, and take the top 2 fill ports out of the machine. And these can come out. Now these would be a 3/4 inch NPT, and that Teflon tape is there to re-tape these after we are done and we're ready to reinsert these back into the unit. All right, now we're taking these out first because when this tank starts draining, we want it to drain nice and quickly, not to glug, 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 because it can't have air feeding the top. So this lets it drain nice and quick, which is fantastic. We'll throw our plugs right there for future use. All right, so once that's done, we can go ahead and remove our hitch from the machine, give us a little more space. Put the pin back in it, that way you don't lose it, and just move it off to the side because you won't need it for the time being. Now you go ahead, grab your Allen key, and grab your 5-gallon pail. Now, on the bottom of the frame here, you notice there's a similar size plug as the 2 fill ports on the top of the frame. So go ahead, grab this hose. Now, if you don't have a log lifter, you don't have this hose here, but just take this hose and simply kind of just try to push it up and tuck it out of the way like that between the high pressure line. And go ahead and start loosening this plug. Now, keep in mind that there is 4.5 gallons of oil, or probably 4.2 gallons in this tank. There's probably a little bit in the hoses and the cylinder, but when this plug drops out, fluid is going to come gushing out of this tank at a very quick rate. So make sure you have your pail ready to go underneath. And because it's an NPT plug, it's going to loosen up as it gets further out. And as I loosen it, I'm going to maintain upward pressure on my plug. I'm not going to, you know, start letting my Allen key sag because I'm not sure when that plug's going to fall out and it could make more of a mess. So what I'm going to do here, as I turn it loose, I'm still pushing it up into the bottom of the tank. Now you can see the oil starting to drip out a little bit. Okay, and as I do that, all of a sudden I'm going to pull it, and there she goes. So that made it a little bit more of a mess than I would like it to have. So probably maybe better off pulling the plug just slowly on an angle. But nevertheless, take your rag and give it a quick wipe down wherever you got a little spritz of oil. So now our tank is drained, but we still have a bunch of oil in this lower section here and the oil filter as well too. Now, we want to change the oil filter and we don't want to have as much oil floating around again. So what we're going to do is try to empty some of that oil out of this lower chamber and out of this oil filter as well too. And we're going to pull the motor over in the off position. Now, it's really important that you hear me very clearly, in the off position. Do not start the motor with no oil in the reservoir. You will damage your pump. So keep the motor in the off position and just crank this over. Now you're gonna see what's happening is that it's going to pull the oil from this suction hose and from the oil filter down through it, and it's gonna pump it to the top, and it can drain out of the back of the reservoir there. So go ahead in the off position, keyword is off, and go ahead and pull this about 20 times. And there we go, that's about 20 tugs. Beautiful. So now most of the oil is going to be drained out of our filter and this suction tube as well. So now we're going to go ahead and remove that oil filter for an oil filter change as well. Go ahead, grab a rag, get maybe 2. That way you can keep it underneath that oil filter. And initially I'm going to take it, crack it loose a little bit, just like that. So now that oil filter is loose. And from there I'm going to keep my hand underneath, catch any drips. And there you go. You have almost no leakage. Almost all the oil has been drained through that pump from pulling it over in the off position. Now, we can go ahead, grab our fresh oil filter, and just like any oil filter that you'd put on your car, mower, or any other equipment, take a little slick of oil on your finger and just moisten that O-ring a little bit. Now from there, that can get screwed back on. And you're not going crazy tight. You're just going, good and snug, maybe with one hand or 2 hands lightly. If you over tighten it, good luck getting it off next time. Let's put some Teflon tape back on that NPT plug. If you don't put enough tape on, it will leak in time. Now there's no pressure on this, it's just gravity pulling that oil down, but you don't want to have to pull the plug out 2 days later because you either missed the Teflon tape or didn't put enough on. So a good 3 turns, grab your Allen wrench again, put her right back where she came from. You want to go good and snug. If I was calculating foot-pounds, you're probably looking at 30, 40 foot-pounds is plenty for a plug like this. Ooh, there we go. Now, since our plug is in, we can go ahead, remove our pail of oil, and we're going to take our rag and just do any final cleanup down below. This hose that we tucked out of the way can get put back into its natural position, and we're done working on the lower half of the machine. Take that rear hitch. Excellent. Perfect. Now, some people might ask, well, what do I do with my old oil? And there's really 2 things that you should probably do with it. Number 1 is recycle it. In certain counties, they got recycling depots or oil drop-off areas where you can drop off your used car oil, and it's a great place to put it as it'll get recycled or used for certain purposes. The second thing you could do with it is maybe you have a friend, a neighbor, or family with a used oil burner. A lot of people heat their shops or their barns with a used oil burner, and any oil like this that's being used will burn really good in one of those used oil burners as well. So 2 options to responsibly get rid of this stuff here without having it sit around and create a mess. So now the machine is ready for its fresh oil. Now in this case here, this is brand new AW32, but before you go ahead to dump the fluid back in, this machine can get put back on the level. So let's take our tilting blocks out of it. That way our sight glass level will be correct, as it'll be a little more on the level ground. Grab your lovely ladder and go ahead, grab your funnel. Now I got a pretty big funnel here, and I actually cut the end a little bit too large. I should have kept it a little bit smaller, but it'll work just fine. I'm gonna go ahead and take it, and if you have your funnel size right, you can actually screw it into the NPT fitting a little bit, and it should just wanna stay there. Yeah, so this is a 5-gallon pail, and this log splitter requires 4.5 gallons of oil. So keep that in mind when you're dumping it in. And the reason we have 2 fill ports up here is we have the one open so that when we're dumping fluid in here nice and fast, the air can escape and it's not burbling and popping, and you know, it just makes the process a whole lot easier when you're dumping fluid back in, sort of thing. So this should be a pretty quick process. Go ahead, take your oil. So there's our 4.5 gallons. Done. Now, if you're filling out of a fresh pail of fluid, you're gonna wanna check your fluid and your sight glass as well too. So this is what I would generally do as far as that procedure goes. Now you'll notice our sight glass is actually a little bit full, which is fine because we haven't purged the system yet, and that oil filter has probably got some air left in it as well. So let's go ahead, let's start the Honda on idle just to cycle some fluid through, and you'll see this actually drop down to very much the correct level. All right, so now it's running. You can see we're a little low on oil. So we're gonna put a little more oil in that just to top it up once it's run here for another 10 or 15 seconds. We can actually go ahead and just do a half cycle. Perfect. Looks like we're just a little low on oil, so we're gonna put a little more in. Stick our funnel in. There we are. Excellent. And so now, final thing to do, take your 2 fill plugs, put 2.5, 3 turns of tape on those, and just keep in mind when you're taping these fittings, put the Teflon tape on in the correct direction, which should be a clockwise orientation from the way it's going into the hole or into the thread basically. So if you put the tape on wrong, it's gonna peel it off when you're threading it in. So just make sure you do 3 turns and a right hand or clockwise rotation when you're looking at the end going in the hole. Go ahead, take your 2 plugs and reinsert those back into the top of the machine here. So that's pretty much the process. Go ahead, take a rag, give it a clean up. You know, it's generally a good time to check for any loose fittings as well. So if you're doing some hydraulic service, check any other hydraulic fittings, you know, check some hoses for any tears and rips, and come down here, clean up any drips or little spots where oil might be sitting still, and you're good to go. So that's a hydraulic fluid service on an 1165. Now, if you have more questions or you're not sure about something that maybe we missed in the video, feel free to call Parts and Service at Splitfire, and they will definitely help you out. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up and subscribe for more how-to videos like this as well. If you want to see more details on this 1165 or the options we have here, head to split-fire.com and enjoy the rest of your day.